Hello everyone and welcome you all to another chapter of the Adobe Premiere Pro Essentials tutorial. So now we are on our chapter number 13 and here I will be showing you guys how you can actually do masking in Premiere Pro. Okay, and what is the usage of doing masking here? Okay, we'll be learning about all of that here in detail in this particular class. Okay, so there are different ways how you will use the pen tool to mask. Okay, how we can actually explore the different options in masking. We'll be learning about all of that here in detail in this particular class. So let's not waste time and let's get started on learning masking in Premiere Pro. So here, as you guys can see, now I am here in the home page of the Adobe Premiere Pro. So now from here, I will now create a new project and I will name this one as masking. Okay, so I will just name this one as masking from here and I will just create a new project for myself to work on. Okay, so I will just import a few of the audios. So I'll just click on shift and yeah, I have imported this too. And I will come down here, go to my resource file from the videos. Maybe I will take this one and I guess I will take this one here as well. Okay, so I will just open this two videos. Okay, so I'll be showing you guys how you can basically mask. Okay, so for me, if I just click over here, I can basically change the name according to myself. Okay, if it kind of sounds familiar, okay, I can actually do that. So I will just take this directly because I don't have to see it here in my panel. Okay, so I don't want to crop it down or I don't want to do anything. If I just want to do or crop it down, so I will directly do it somewhat from here. Okay, maybe I can just decrease the size a little bit. Okay, and I will take this particular video and what I can again do is I will select this one and now I will just move this over here. Okay, so I will just decrease the size of this particular thing here as well. Okay, if I just click over here. Okay, oh, I guess this is the same video, so I will just come here. Okay, I'll just take this particular video and I will just put this particular video here on top. Come here and I will just try to unlink both of this and take this thing and I'll just delete this audio over here. If I want to decrease the size, okay, I will be able to decrease the size of this thing here as well. Okay, I will just make this one visible. But what I'm going to do is I am going to mask this particular thing out. Okay, so let's start learning about masking. Okay, so suppose if I do want to mask this part. Okay, so for that what I need to do is I can just come here, select this one, and what I can do is I will just come here and I want to go to the effects panel. Okay, so right now here I don't have that effects panel. So for that what I can do is I will come here and I'll make sure that I do have my effects control. Okay, so I will come here. Okay, I will just tick mark on the effects control option. Okay, I will just increase the size of this part over here. And now what I can do is I can just select this thing out. And if I want to scale this thing up, okay, I can just scale this thing up over here. And suppose I want to mask this thing. Okay, so first let me just scale this thing up properly. Okay, so yeah, I am done here with the scaling. And what I want to do is I just want to scale that part down. Okay, so for that what I will do is I will just come here and I will just select this one, and for that now I will come here in the masking option. Okay, so I will come here, I will just select this opacity. Okay, so here once I just drag down the opacity option, for me I don't need the motion right now. Okay, so here as you guys can see, I do have the masking option. Okay, so if I want to mask or just create some shapes to mask, okay, so for that I do have my pen tool, and here if I want to create any polygon mask, in that case I will be able to take this polygon mask over here. Okay, so as you guys can see, I will be able to create some mask kind of like this. Okay, so here as you guys can see, I do have mask number one. So what I can do is, well, if I just want to move this thing around, I will be able to move this thing around. And now if I want to increase or if I want to change any sides of this thing, okay, of this mask, I will be able to do that. Okay, so if I just want to mask any part or anywhere, if I just want to put this thing, I will be able to do that using this particular option. Okay, so here as you guys can see, I can just bring this thing down over here. And now suppose if I do wanna mask this particular side, okay, of my frame, so I will be able to do that from here as well. Okay, suppose if I just come here and I will just select this corner. Okay, I can just come somewhere over here, and now this part I will be able to mask this thing properly. Okay, so we do have to do it according to ourselves. Okay, how we want to do that from here. Okay, so as you guys can see, I have just created a mask. Okay, so if you just want to see, so if I just click here, like if I don't want to see that frame, so here you guys can see to this particular frame I have just masked this particular part. Okay, so this part of the scene I have just masked over here, and as you guys can see, I have used the rectangle. Okay, and in one particular frame basically you guys will be able to add more than one mask. Okay, suppose if I already do have one mask, okay, but I want to create another mask. So here you guys can see I am able to create another mask here as well. And now if I just click here outside, okay, so this is how it's going to look. So now again, I'll select this one, and now I will just select the mask number two, and here, okay, so I will be able to make some changes quite like this. Okay, if I want to do that, I will be able to do this thing from here as well. Okay, so under masking, you guys will be able to see that I do have four different options. Okay, so the first one is mask path, and the second one here is the mask feather, and this one is the mask opacity, and here I do have the mask saturation. Okay, so from here, as you guys can see, I do have a lot of options. So I'll show you guys the usage of each one of this over here. Okay, so if you guys just look here on my screen right over here, so let me just choose the mask number one. Okay, so for now, let me just delete this mask number two. I was just showing you guys that one. Okay, so let me select mask number one, and here you guys can see like the mask feather is basically this particular points which I do have it here. Okay, so here you guys can see now the mask feather, or basically the opacity around here in the corner where I have created, it's quite more. Okay, it's quite a lot. So in that case, now what I can do is if I just want to increase the mask feather, here you guys can see the mask feather here, it's kind of changing. Okay, so if I want to increase the mask feather, in that case I can basically increase the mask feather somewhat like this, and here this is the opacity. Okay, if I want to change the opacity, or if I want to increase it, or if I want to decrease the opacity, I can do that, as I already do have a frame just behind this one. Okay, so I can just create some things like this. So if I just want to keep it 100%, I can just keep this thing 100% over here. And now this one is another thing. Okay, so if I just want to use this one, I can basically use this over here. As you guys can see, I can just keep this somewhat over here. If I just wanna reset this particular parameter, again I can reset this particular parameter over here. Okay, so now as you guys can see, I do have another option over here, which is known as the inverted. Okay, so as you guys can see, if I just click here in the mask, okay, so this particular part, this one is my mask number one. Okay, so this part I have just masked. Okay, so invert means like if I just want to change or the positioning, the part which I have not selected inside my masking, that part will be selected in the masking, and the part which I have selected right now, that part will be automatically deselected. Okay, so now if I come over here, if I just click on inverted, here you guys can see this is just the total opposite. Okay, so now if I just play this thing up over here, okay, so now I will just play this thing up. So this is how it's actually going to look. Okay, so here as you guys can see, this thing is kind of going to look like this. And if you come here, if you don't want to do it, uh, if you don't want to invert this one, you guys will be able to do that over here. Okay, as you guys can see, now I will again select this mask number one, and here the mask path is like if you want to go back or forward. Okay, so like if you want to change the mask position, okay, you guys can do that. So from here, for that I will just need to click on this toggle animation, and what I can do is I can just select this particular mask over here, and now I want to change the positioning. Okay, so I will just keep this thing over here for now, and again I will just come few frames forward. Okay, so with this one, what I can do is I will just bring this over here, and I can just move this thing around somewhere like this. Okay, and again here you guys can see I do have this particular animation on, so I can just click this one. Okay, if I just want to copy anything, I can do that. So let's see a preview of how this thing actually works. Okay, so this is how it will actually look like. Okay, so here in this particular background, I do have only this thing. Okay, so here in this particular position, I can also add some keyframes. Okay, so here is the mask feather. Okay, so in this part, what I want to do is I don't want any feather. Okay, so I just want a sharp edge cut. Okay, so here you guys can see I do have a sharp edge cut over here. So for that, what I'll do is I will just on the toggle animation, and once I come to this part over here in this corner, so if I just want to go to the same keyframe, so here as you guys can see, if I just click on shift, I can just directly come here, and now what I can do is I can just increase the feather somewhat like 160 is quite fine. Okay, so here as you guys can see, I have added this one here as well. Okay, and now what I can also do is if I just come a bit over here, okay, so I can just come here and I can just select this one, and after coming this further, okay, so if I just want to go frame by frame, in that case what I can also do is I can just click on shift, and I can just click on my arrows. Okay, so it will just take you 10 frames forward or like 5 frames each time. Okay, so here you guys can see it's going 5 frames forward, 5 frames backward. Okay, so here I can just come, okay, and I can decrease the opacity uh kind of like to 55. Okay, so here let's see a preview of how this actually looks. Okay, so this is how it's actually going to look like. And lastly, I'll be showing you guys about the this particular option over here. Okay, so now what I will be able to do is, suppose I will have this one over here, and what I can do is lastly is I will click on the toggle animation for this mask over here, and once it comes somewhat around here, I can just come and I can just decrease this totally over here. Okay, I can just decrease it totally over here. Okay, and then I'll just come here in the last frame. Okay, so I will just come here in the last frame, select the this particular frame around here, and I will just come to the last frame around here, and can just move this thing or this particular keyframe here in this last place. Okay, so now let's see a preview of how this thing actually looks like. Okay, so now you guys will be able to see that it will kind of disappear quite like this. Okay, so now if you want to invert this whole layer, I guess you guys will be able to invert the whole layer as well. Okay, but here as we were talking about masking, I hope you guys have understood how you can actually mask around this. So here there are a few other options which you can use while you're working. If you want to adjust this thing, you guys will be able to adjust this thing here as well. Okay, so now you guys can come here. If you want to choose anything, you guys can basically choose this thing out. Okay, so let me just play this thing up somewhat kind of like this. So this is how it will just disappear over here. So I hope you guys have understood this class on masking, and I hope you guys will be able to work on with this one over now. Okay, so using this one, what you can also do is from here, okay, you guys can actually select any particular track and just mask backward. Okay, so you guys can do that. And here, if you have selected any mask, okay, you guys can go backward. Okay, and if you wanna go to the previous keyframe, you guys will be able to go to any previous keyframe which you have selected over here. And if you just want to add any keyframe to this one, you guys will be able to add. Okay, if you just want to go to the next keyframe, see, I will be able to go to the next keyframe. And if I want to go to the previous keyframe, I can go like that. Okay, and from here also, if you want to do some tracking, okay, you guys will be able to do that. So from here you guys can see, if you want to position these things out, you guys will be able to position things out from here. So you guys can choose what you want to do. Is it only position or position and rotation? Okay, or you just want to position it, scale it, and you also want to add the rotation here as well. Okay, or you guys can come here and just click on the preview option. Okay, so for me, I just want to select this one, and I will just unmark this preview option. So I hope you guys have understood this class. Then see you all in the next chapter.